Hello and welcome to another video from My Attached Toys, Games, Collectibles. And today, well, we're looking at something that's not altogether that old, but these items have become incredibly collectible and very, very difficult to find, especially in this mint unopened condition. Now we are looking at the 2015 release by Vivid Imaginations from their series of Thunderbirds Are Go action figures, toys and play sets. And this particular item we are looking at today is of none other than the Thunderbird 2 pilot, Virgil Tracy, who was one of the 5 Tracy brothers that ran the International Rescue Operation in the Thunderbirds Are Go television series. Now, it was a science fiction television series produced by ITV Studios and Pukiko Pictures. It used a combination of computer generation animation and live action models, and it's a continuation of the series Thunderbirds created by Gerry and Sylvia Anderson, and it follows the exploits of International Rescue, which is a rescue organisation run by the Tracy family out of their secret island base in the Pacific Ocean. And they use technology advanced craft for land, sea, air and space rescues in their operations, the most important of which are a set of vehicles which they call the Thunderbirds, and they're each piloted. All 5 of the Thunderbird vehicles are piloted by the Tracy brothers. Now the programme premiered on the 4th of April 2015 and it concluded on the 22nd of February 2020, running for 78 episodes across 3 series, and it was well received by critics and fans of the original series and has spawned several branches of merchandising since its broadcast. So 78 episodes produced over 3 series, aired from the 4th of April 2015 through the 22nd of February 2020, and the episodes were about 22 minutes long. Okay, let's not diverse any further. Let's have a look at this figure, who is based on that computer-generated action character from the program. And this particular one is of Virgil Tracy. And this is the pack that it comes in. And at the top, you can see a picture of all of the 5 Tracy brothers. So you've got Scott, Virgil, Alan, Gordon and John. And it says Thunderbirds Are Go, TB2, Attachable action gear, and it's Virgil Tracy with accessories. Okay, that's the front of the packet. Let's just turn it round and see what we've got printed on the back. Okay, so I've turned the card around to the back and this is what we've got. So again, we've got that same image at the top there. It says TB2, then you've got the image of the 5 Tracy brothers again. It's Thunderbirds Are Go, and it says Virgil Tracy, task, demolition, heavy lifting and logistics. There's an image of Virgil Tracy in that triangle just above. His craft is Thunderbird 2. Personal, cam, lever, headed and thorough. Peacemaker in the family. Skilled in engineering and mechanics, and largest and strongest of the brothers. It says specialty equipment. Mechanically assisted groping arms, nicknamed Jaws of Life. Time for some heavy lifting, and it comes complete with his helmet, his high power LED spotlight, and it says Craft Thunderbird 2. It says function auxiliary equipment transport, top speed 5,000 miles per hour, maximum altitude 100,000 feet, payload up to 100 tons. And there is an image of Virgil in action. And it says Thunderbirds.com, ITV Studios, Vivid Information, and all the relevant logos and licensing information at the bottom. And you've got the item number, which is 90286, made in China, and you've got the barcode at the bottom. Okay, that's the back of the pack. Let's turn it around now and let's have a look at the figure itself. Okay, rather than us just look through the packet of the figure, what I've done is I've taken one of my figures from my collection of Virgil Tracy, which is exactly the same as the one in the packet, and I have opened or brought him out so we can have a look at him. Now he is from my personal display in my home, and this is the figure of Virgil Tracy, but as I say, it's exactly the same one as the one that's sealed in the packet that we just looked at. Okay, so this is the figure. Now, let's get some measurements of Virgil. So from top to bottom, we are looking at 10 centimeters, which is about 4 inches. Crosswise, across as wide as point, which is arms, we're looking at about 5 centimeters. And depth-wise, we're looking at about 2 centimeters, which is probably the thickness of his, or the width of his feet and his chest. Okay, so that is Virgil size-wise. Now, articulation-wise, I mean, these figures are great for articulation, even considering the size. So you've got the head, which moves from side to side. You've got the top of the arm, which goes from side to side and up and down. You've got the elbows, which move up and down, and also they turn. And then, of course, well, you don't need to turn the hands because they turn from the elbow. So you've got 4 points of articulation on each arm, which I think is pretty awesome for these figures. They are, considering the size of the figures, the articulation is great. Okay, there's no waist movement, but you do have the top of the legs, which are on ball joints. So the leg can go up and down and can go out from side to side, and it's the same on both legs. You've obviously got the knee joints, which move up and down, and the lower section of the leg also turns. So again, you've got 2, 4, 6, 8 points of articulation on each leg. So there's 8 and 16, 17 points of articulation on a 4-inch figure, which is absolutely outstanding. As you can see, he's dressed in his International Rescue uniform, which he wears when he's on a mission piloting Thunderbird 2, which is the blue uniform with the green utility packs and holsters. Now, he also comes complete with his helmet, which that just pops over his head, so he can wear that whenever he wants to, and also his high power LED spotlight, which I'm led to believe does fit in the hands. Not sure which hand, because the hands are closed, but let's see if we can. Oh, maybe it doesn't fit in his hand. Oh yeah, yes it does. It goes in that way, of course. So there we go, that's his spotlight. I was thinking it was being held at either end, but it's not. It's held in the middle there, and that's the handle that's on the back there. Now, I think that also attaches to his back. Yes, it does. So he can carry it around on his back there. You see, it attaches to the hole in the back there. If I had it up the right way, it would be better. I think I did have it up the right way. Yes, I did. So yeah, so it just attaches to his back, and you can carry him around like that with his torch on his back and his helmet on. And they very simply, again, just, oh, the visor lifts up also on the helmet, which I didn't mention that before, but it lifts up so you have him complete with his helmet on or his helmet off. On display, I have him wearing his helmet, and I have the torch on his back, so that it looks like he's going into action. Okay, so that is the figure. Now, how well did these figures do back in 2015 during their release, I hear you ask? Well, Thunderbirds, when this show came back, was huge again. Very, very popular, and again, it hit another generation of children. So we'd had the 60s, we'd had the 90s, we'd had the noughties, and now we've got the teens up to the 20s. So it's been through 4 different generations of children, every single one finding it very, very very much into the show. Loads of people enjoyed each generation's enjoyed the show. I watched Thunderbirds Are Go, and I thought it was done quite well. Nicely updated from the original 1960s television series, and as it's a continuation, I think it was done very, very well, and proved to be very, very popular. And I say, obviously, it spawned a colossal amount of merchandise again, which also all done exceptionally well, as did these figures and all the rest of the merchandise, from Vivid Images, all the play sets and the vehicles. Okay, let's move forward then, just 10 years to 2025, which is where we are today. Do these figures come up for sale very often on the platforms nowadays? And the answer to that is no, not as often as they did. Now, if you went back, went back to really 2019, 2020, there was a colossal amount of these figures and places being offered on the platforms. Not so much nowadays. These figures, obviously, they were run for only a short amount of time, really. I think for a total of 2 years, they run the figures before they finished the line. So not quite as in massive quantities as you would expect. Well, I say not in massive quantities. They were in big quantities, but not as huge amounts as the likes of Star Wars or Star Trek figures produce. But even so, a nice run, and the figures sold out, and obviously, because of that fact, anybody that's got the figures would have had them in their collection, and hence the reason why they probably do not come up for sale very often anymore. If you look hard enough and wait long enough, you will find them appearing on the platform in various different states of condition. Actually, don't get me wrong, because you can find quite a lot of these figures loose. So if you're looking for just a loose figure, well, then you can pick them up fairly easily on the platforms for very little money. But if you want mint in the packet, which is what I always go for me, the figures have to be in absolutely pristine condition to go into my display. So I'm sure a lot of collectors are the same. But if you want that kind of thing, then you have to look very, very hard and be very, very patient. They will come up eventually, but they are few and far between currently. And also, obviously, if you're buying on a platform, usual things apply. Be very cautious, have a good look at the item's condition and read the description thoroughly, because somebody's idea of very good condition could be somebody else's idea of acceptable condition, and there is a big scope of differences there between people's opinions. And also, don't forget, some of the platforms use stock images and stock descriptions, so you could be looking at a mint sealed item on the page. However, there won't be any available, or if it says none available and just says used, you will be receiving the cheapest used item, because the platform automatically goes to the cheapest of the used products, and that's probably not what you want or you are expecting. So if you don't have a click on that used link and read what you're about to order, you will be disappointed when it arrives. Not the fault of the seller, and certainly not the fault of the customer. Just stupid the way the platforms work, the way they were designed, which is a little bit silly if you ask me, but there we are. Now, alternatively, you don't need to go through all that rigmarole. You can come straight to us at Midas Touch Toys, Games and Collectibles, where what you see in front of you is exactly the item you receive, should you wish to order. We don't believe in stock images and stock descriptions, and you can only order the item that's in front of you, and you will not receive anything other than the item you are looking for. Now, these Thunderbirds figures, we were fortunate enough to buy out a closed down shop, and there was a whole case of these figures that was unopened and hadn't been put on the shelf, and that whole case was part of the buyout that we bought from the closed down shop, and we are making those items available to our customers on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website, where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Thunderbird items, and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles. Come to that, there's over 10,000 products currently available on our website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I'm absolutely positive this is something that you're not going to want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new items which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you're looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful, wonderful Thunderbirds Are Go Virgil Tracy action figure with me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next video. So bye for now.